The weather in Sotavento, Fuerteventura, for the week we were there wasn't quite what we were expecting. The trade winds were not in effect. The Azores high had been shifted by a big low pressure. When we sort of towards the middle of the week before, we were slightly concerned there wasn't going to be any wind, but the low pressure did provide some significant wind, but from the opposite direction, which meant that the coastline that we were on, the east coast, which is normally fairly sheltered from swell, all of a sudden became the main coast to get a lot of the swell, because the wind was coming primarily from the south-southwest. However, so on the first day, lovely day for walking, and we had some nice food and beer, but didn't hit the water. I did go for a swim in a very cold pool anyway. Tuesday was a nice day again for the majority of it, and the wind finally came about 3 o'clock, and I went winging. And then Wednesday to Friday, the wind's really kicking in, and so they were all windsurfing days. Now, Wednesday was good waves on the sea, a little bit shore break, slightly challenging, but okay. Thursday, bigger waves. Again, slightly challenging shore break, but still doable. But by Friday, there was a Thursday evening, Friday morning, there was a really big storm, and that picked up the waves really big. So by the time we got there Friday, it was really big waves, and they were pretty challenging by this stage. Very, very short period, and they were causing a lot of shore break. First time I tried to get out, I must have put my head through the sail in the surf. I completely destroyed the first sail. I brought it back in, rigged up again, went out again. It was on a 5 meter. It wasn't super windy actually, but I just had enough power to get this time through all 3-4 lines. I think it was 4 lines of breaking waves actually that you had to get through, and the 4th one was pretty tall. First time I didn't manage to power through it, sort of struggling for power, but the second time I managed to get through it and sail out. But once I was out there, really big swell, but really didn't have the power to turn around. Well, didn't have the power to do a planing gybe, and it was really, really tricky. And you can tell from my heart rate compared with the speed, you can tell it was quite stressful because the sea was incredibly big. And I didn't have the power to really handle it. But as soon as I got a bit of speed up, you can see my stress levels drop and my heart rate drops. But so once I got in, I decided that's not a lot of fun. It's a shame actually that I didn't wait a little bit as the wind did pick up, and some of the other guys were having fun out there. So difficult to tell. But anyway, for whatever reason, I suppose probably because I'd already wrecked one sail, I felt guilty. I didn't want to destroy all the 5 meters. I'd broken a 5 meter before putting my knee through it, so I did decrease the higher center's stock of 5 meter sails already. Anyway, so we sailed on the Lagoon for the rest of the day, which all of this footage will be from. Woohoo! Whoop, 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 whoop.